Now, without using AI, you have to find the Cartesian form of the following parametric equation, and that's x equals 2 cos t and y equals sine t. It's not like any equation, is it? Because you think, why is it separate? You've got this and this. Shouldn't it just be one together? And what's up with t? Why is there an added t in there? Well, a parametric equation is like a normal equation, but it introduces an extra parameter called t. I wonder if one time in history it was called a parameter trick. No, just kidding. Parametric form, what we have here, allows us to draw some pretty neat graphs that you can't really draw easily with the traditional Cartesian. Parametric equations are super useful, but we're not going to go into detail of that. What I will say is that our aim is to find the Cartesian equation, which by definition only includes x's and y's. We need to get rid of t. Only x and y allowed. Typically, if we have a parametric equation that's normal, we just substitute one into the other, and that should be enough, and you get rid of a t. But in this case, with trigonometry, this is trig because it's a sine function. What you're going to need is an identity. Now, hopefully you can see that you've got cosine and sine. Brainstorm what identities you can think of that use that. Obviously, I'm coming up with sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. We've got those terms in our equation. And we're going to make them suitable for substituting in. Let's start with that one. It's pretty easy. So y equals sine t. Okay, well, straight up. In fact, let me put that over to the side. Whenever we see a sine t, we can replace it with a y. I actually like to make it into sine squared before I put it in. So if I square sine squared, that means I've got to square the y. And now that's ready to go in. Now, cos squared t we're going to get from the other one. So if x equals 2 cos t, we divide both sides by 2, and we'll get cosine t. And like we need cos squared, so we'll square both sides. So cos squared t, and this is the whole thing, like squaring this. You can square the top and the bottom separately. So that just becomes x squared over 4. So now we know what cos squared t is. We can just put it straight in. So we've got x squared over 4. And that equals 1. Like, you've mission accomplished at this point. You have x's and y's only, so it's all cool. I think like just one last step is that you can write it differently. I think this is what it was on the answers. And it looks like an equation of a circle. All right, cool. Thank you very much for subscribing or for taking part in that quiz. I really hope that this is useful to you. All right, cool. Thank you.